Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, from coast to coast. This is Walter Hartley speaking with a special bulletin from the WINRAD Broadcasting Service. The war in the Middle East has entered its 19th day. Israel says it has killed Iran's intelligence minister. The United States has dropped 5,000-pound bunker buster bombs along the Strait of Hormuz. 2 people are dead in central Israel, and Israel is preparing to destroy every bridge across the Litani River in Lebanon. We take you first to our Washington correspondent, Edward James Whitmore. Edward.
Thank you, Walter. Good evening, America. Israel's Defense Minister Israel Katz announced today that an overnight airstrike has killed Iran's Intelligence Minister Esmail Khatib, along with senior figures in his ministry. This comes just one day after Israel confirmed the killing of Ali Larijani, the Secretary of Iran's Supreme National Security Council, and Basij Commander Gholam Reza Soleimani. Katz said significant surprises are expected in all arenas and promised to escalate the war against both Iran and Hezbollah. Tehran has confirmed Larijani's death. Iran's foreign minister has pledged revenge. The United States Central Command announced today that American forces have successfully employed multiple 5,000-pound deep penetrator munitions on hardened Iranian missile sites along the Strait of Hormuz. These are among the largest conventional bombs in the American arsenal, designed to destroy underground and reinforced targets that standard munitions cannot reach. The deployment of bunker busters represents a significant escalation in the intensity of American strikes. President Trump will attend a dignified transfer at Dover Air Force Base tomorrow afternoon for the 6 service members killed when their refueling aircraft crashed in western Iraq last week. The governor of Ohio will also attend to pay respects to the 3 crew members from his state. The State Department has ordered every American diplomatic post worldwide to immediately review its security posture, citing the ongoing situation in the Middle East and the potential for spillover effects. Diplomatic facilities in Canada and Norway have already been targeted since the war began. And the top American counterterrorism official, Joe Kent, has resigned from his position, saying Iran is not a threat. The administration has not publicly responded to his departure. Meanwhile, the Strait of Hormuz is showing the first signs of reopening, though not in the way Washington intended. Iran is allowing a small but growing number of commercial ships through the waterway, with 8 non-Iranian vessels detected on Monday, according to maritime data. Most of these are so-called dark transits, ships evading Western sanctions that likely have ties to Iran. Vessels with ties to India and Pakistan have also successfully crossed after their governments negotiated passage directly with Tehran. Iran's foreign minister put the position plainly. The strait is open, he said, but closed to our enemies. Back to you, Walter.
Thank you, Edward. We go now to our foreign affairs correspondent, Theodore Charles Bennett. Theodore?
Thank you, Walter. 2 people are dead in central Israel tonight after an Iranian ballistic missile struck the city of Ramat Gan near Tel Aviv. A man and a woman were killed by shrapnel injuries. Search and rescue crews responded to multiple impact sites across central Israel. CNN cameras captured what appeared to be a cluster munition detonating in the skies above Tel Aviv. Iran has now killed at least 17 people in Israel since the war began, with more than 3,300 wounded. Iran launched the strikes in retaliation for the killing of Larijani, calling it revenge. The IRGC said the attack targeted Israeli military and intelligence sites. In Lebanon, the war has entered a new and devastating phase. Israel struck Beirut early this morning, killing at least 6 people and wounding 24 in the capital. At least 1 building was completely leveled. Israel warned residents of the coastal city of Tyre, Lebanon's 4th largest city, of impending strikes, then announced it intends to attack every bridge crossing the Litani River starting at midday. The Israeli military told anyone living south of the Litani and the Zerani rivers to evacuate north immediately, saying that any movement southward may endanger your lives. Photographs shared on social media show massive traffic jams of cars fleeing the city. Israel's defense minister compared the expanded ground operation to what the military did in Gaza and said hundreds of thousands of Shiite Lebanese will not be allowed to return to their homes until northern Israel's safety is guaranteed. 900,000 people have already been displaced.
Theodore, what is the broader picture tonight?
Walter, the war is now touching more than a dozen countries simultaneously. An Iraqi armed group has claimed responsibility for 28 drone strikes across Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, and Jordan over the past 15 days. Saudi Arabia is hosting an emergency meeting of Arab and Muslim foreign ministers in Riyadh to discuss the crisis. More than 200 Ukrainian anti-drone military experts are deployed across several Middle Eastern countries to help defend against Iranian drones, President Zelensky confirmed today. Kuwait's air defenses are actively intercepting hostile missiles and drones that have breached its airspace tonight. The UAE closed its airspace temporarily as defense forces responded to incoming threats. Qatar intercepted 13 of 14 ballistic missiles launched from Iran. FIFA has rejected Iran's request to move its World Cup matches from the United States to Mexico, saying all venues will proceed as scheduled. Iran's national women's football team has returned home after 7 players initially sought asylum in Australia, though 5 later changed their minds. The women had refused to sing Iran's national anthem before a match 2 days after the war began, and state television labeled them traitors. Iran says its political system remains strong despite the killings of its most senior officials. Foreign Minister Araqchi told Al Jazeera that the United States is responsible for the war engulfing the region. But analysts say the killing of Larijani in particular may have closed a critical diplomatic window. Larijani was widely regarded as the most pragmatic figure in Iran's leadership, the man who had led the nuclear negotiations before the war began. He was the person most likely to open a channel for talks. And now he is dead. Back to you, Walter.
Thank you, Theodore. Thank you, Edward. Ladies and gentlemen, 19 days. Iran's intelligence minister killed overnight. The man who might have negotiated peace killed the night before. 5,000-pound American bombs falling on the shores of the Strait. 2 more dead in Israel. 6 more dead in Beirut. Every bridge across the Litani River about to be destroyed. 900,000 Lebanese fleeing north. The top American counterterrorism official has quit, saying Iran is not a threat, and Iran says the strait is open to its friends and closed to its enemies, while American-made bunker busters crater the coastline. We shall continue to bring you developments as they occur. This has been a special bulletin from the WINRAD Broadcasting Service. I am Walter Hartley. Stay close to your radio. And now, from the home front.
Hello, ladies. This is Dorothy Wilson. It is Wednesday, and I have something for you tonight that is warm and filling and comes together in one dish, baked chicken thighs with rice. Now listen, because this is the kind of meal that looks like you spent an hour on it, but you did not. You need about 6 bone-in, skin-on chicken thighs. Those are the cheapest cut in the poultry case, and they are the most forgiving. You almost cannot overcook a thigh. Season them generously with salt, pepper, garlic powder, and a little paprika. Set them aside. Now take a baking dish, the kind you would use for a casserole, and pour in 1½ cups of long-grain white rice, uncooked. Scatter a diced onion over the rice, a couple cloves of garlic, minced. If you have a handful of frozen peas or diced carrots, toss those in too. Pour 2 3/4 cups of chicken broth right over the top. Stir it gently so the rice is in an even layer. Then nestle your seasoned chicken thighs right on top, skin side up. Cover the dish tightly with foil. Slide it into the oven at 375 degrees for 45 minutes. Then take the foil off and let it go another 15 to 20 minutes until the chicken skin is golden and crispy and the rice has absorbed all that broth. When you pull it out, the rice on the bottom will be tender and full of flavor from the chicken drippings. Every grain will taste like something your grandmother made. One dish, 1 hour in the oven, most of which you are not doing anything. No standing over the stove stirring, no watching a pot. You put it in, you set the timer, and you go help with homework, or fold the laundry, or sit down and close your eyes for 10 minutes. When the timer goes off, dinner is done. It feeds 4 to 6 people for about $7 or $8, depending on what chicken thighs cost at your store this week. Serve it with a simple green salad if you have the lettuce, or just by itself. It does not need anything else. Good night, and God bless.